You are at Lake Rant, where I rant about whatever my $15 a month plus patrons want me to rant about. You can get one of these by me and one of those. This one's for Otter F, who says, I was wondering if you could rant about the song The Other. It's definitely one of my favorite tracks from your albums. I would be happy to. I've been waiting for somebody to request The Other. It's one of the songs that I most wanted to explain the lyrics of because of the fact that there is a Neon Genesis Evangelion analysis in here, if you will. So, The Other, again, it's from the world over, based on me rapping over Yuki Kajiura and Yoshino Yuji songs. I've done a few other videos about some of the songs on there, but anyway. So, The Other, as a concept, is a philosophical idea of, like, people who you consider to be in a different category from yourself, essentially. The other is, the alien, the different. Anybody can be the other at a particular point in time. But I was, in this particular album, there's this sort of overall theme of the other also referring to, like, the other voice inside your head. The part of you that doesn't have language to communicate, and the struggle that we have to understand ourselves, as well as other people. So it's just about the other, like, I'm comparing the other all across this album to ideas such as the girl on the distant shore, or like, I paint the other as the female and the self as the male in some cases. But just in general, across a song like this, the other just refers to basically anybody who's not yourself. And the opportunities that arise from communicating with other people other than yourself. So, or possible detriments of doing so. It's sort of about the hedgehog's dilemma that's talked about in Neon Genesis Evangelion. This idea that people, seek connection, but they also hurt each other by getting closer to each other. And so, people will be afraid of getting close because of the pain. So the chorus goes, what if she comes and lets me in? What if that's how my life begins? What if he hits me on the chin? What if I never trust again? So we're seeing a light and dark angle of how an interaction could happen. Like, what if if she comes and lets me in, it could be the whole beginning of my entire life. It could be literally a defining moment, which is how it feels for me, being with my fiance. Like, it's a moment where I feel like my life began because she let me in to her heart. But other times, I might make a connection where they hit me on the chin, where it doesn't go right, where it leads to nothing but bad things. And I might lose my ability to trust other people. So, it's those two angles. But here we go into the first verse. Conversation breaks down. Amazing. So right away we're talking about communication failing. Down in flames, chasing its own tail. So, going around in circles, the conversation is just completely dead. Facing the facts that we can't tap into the same space, lest we in the same place or a new type race. So here I'm kind of suggesting that, we can't come to an understanding because we are not the same person. We're not literally occupying the same space. A new type race, however, the new types in Gundam are people who can communicate psychically. So it's sort of implying that the only way we could understand each other would be if we could communicate, beyond words, if we could communicate psychically. But, otherwise it's too difficult. But you gotta love to work it out. That's the next lyric. Gotta love to work it out. Learn to love the process. Spurned a lot? Mom says treat her with the softness. So here I'm saying you can't force it. You can't try to brute force your way through communication. You have to learn to love the process of attempting to communicate. You have to love trying to figure out, where your misunderstanding is, and puzzling through it, because it's the only way that you're going to make it work. Is, you can't be angry at the fact that you have to do this, because you're always going to have to. So if you're spurned a lot, this is my advice to you. If you're somebody who loses a lot of relationships, treat them with the softness. But only if you're hard up in the motherfucking paint, though. So I'm trying to say that, like, yes, you should treat the people you care about with softness, but you have to be hard to everybody else. You have to be a complete badass, um, for people to respect you. So, only if you're hard up in the motherfucking paint, though. Blew up a Durango, dying in the faint glow. Got gritty like the panko. Gotta love the taste, though. Everybody want to be the hero, save the day. Grow bigger in the game. You gotta want it every day. No, buddy wants to see you on your ass with a Fago. So, yeah, this is pretty direct, I guess, but it's a bunch of fun, clever lines. A Durango is a Jeep, so you blew up a car, dying in the glow, like kind of like in the song "Bad Out of Hell" by Meatloaf, where he's dying on the side of the road next to his broken bike. Gritty like the panko. Panko, of course, is breadcrumbs that you put on chicken, especially in Japan. It's quite gritty. Gotta love the taste, though. Everybody even though you're a gritty hard ass, everybody loves you. So everybody wants to be the hero and save the day and grow bigger in the game. And you have to want it every day if you want to be that person. You have to be on the constant grind. You cannot be on your ass with a Fago. A Fago, of course, being a very extremely sugary drink that's sold in the north, and I guess other places. I don't know where all it's sold, but ICP are big Fago drinkers. But yeah, it's not good for you. So then we have the chorus again. Now we start talking about Evangelion, and that's because I really think that a lot of these themes that are explored on this album heavily tie into that one, about instrumentality, about coming to understand one another, these gaps in our perceptions. So, in that show, the other for Shinji would be Asuka, and I guess you could really say vice versa. They both consider one another to be like weird, alien, parts of their personal space, but this is an analysis of Asuka and Shinji's relationship. So it goes, Episode 8 strikes. Of course, Episode 8 is Asuka strikes. Girly pushing new heights. Can you get the rhythm down by 9 before she's shot by? So, I really think that in Eva, Shinji kind of had a chance with Asuka early on. Like, when the two of them learn to dance together, they have a lot of problems with each other, but they kind of reconcile a lot of it. They learn to live together. And in episode 9, she kind of flirts with him. Well, not 9. I'm at episode 10, Magma Diver. But he doesn't pick up on it. And it's kind of like she's giving him a chance. She maybe sees something in him, but it passes by him. So it's kind of like, if he doesn't get the rhythm down of how they communicate, then she's going to shoot by. Older's like your mom, right? Others like your dad's. Why? So this is where I'm referring to Misato and Rei. How, at this point in the story, I think there's a part where he kind of is thinking about his sexual attraction to all three of these main girls who are in his life. And, it's clear that Misato fills kind of a motherly role in his life, something that he didn't really have. And, Rei is essentially in love with his father. So it's like, in his mind, these women, it's not that he necessarily views them as prospects, as that he's attracted to them and he's indecisive and he doesn't really, try to pursue any of them even though he's thinking about all of them, And it's kind of like if he could have just cut through all that and seen that Asuka was, the one who was most clearly, someone that he should try to be with, I guess, that he had a chance with. The other two are like, why? So anyway, waiting for a man because pathetic and romantic. Going tantric because you can't have what you wanted. So here's where I'm talking about his relationship with Kaoru, because Kaoru is somebody who basically coddles Shinji, does not require him to go and, to profess his love. Kaoru comes to him, and because Shinji is so pathetic and he is a romantic, he basically is swept up in Kaoru's, confession, essentially. He sees Kaoru as somebody who, who's taken all the work out of it for him. He can just love this guy and it'll be fine, But anyway, I say, you're going tantric because you can't have what you wanted, thinking you're doing nothing wrong because you don't see how they're haunted. So all throughout the series, Shinji is throwing fits because he's not, he doesn't like the way that he's being treated, and he is not interested in pursuing this whole saving the world business. But part of it is that he doesn't understand how everybody else is haunted. You know, like Misato really struggles to learn how to communicate with him in the early episodes, and it's, you know, Shinji doesn't appreciate what her backstory is like. You know, the things she's been through, what she's having to put up with in order to deal with him. You know, it's like things are just as bad for other characters, basically. So anyway, you think you're just unwanted. So you think you're just unwanted. That's what the next line says about how he feels. He feels like, you know, the way these people are treating him makes him feel like he's not being loved, he's not being cared for, even though some of these people are really trying. You know, he just doesn't understand what they're trying to do for him. But the next lines, but they need you in the harness, even take you if you harm us. Look alive out there, we're weaker than we promised. If we let you down, it's coming back to haunt us. But if you can't let go of her, at least try to be honest. You're so fucked up, but now you know what's in her mental closet. She'll never let you in unless you stop making her vomit. Approach with patience, diligence, and knowing that you're needed, or humankind as we know it is already defeated. So here I say, you know, we need you to pilot. Shinji's the only one who can save the world. He has to do it. We'll take you even if you harm us in the process. We just need you to do it. You know, and like we're gonna tell you that we are there for you, that we are gonna have your back, that we're doing all we can, but we're definitely not up. Like, we're not up to this challenge. You know, like it's too much. We're going to break under the pressure of trying to help you. If we let you down, it's gonna come back to haunt us. But if you can't let go of her, at least try to be honest. So, you know, I'm sort of suggesting here that he can't let go of Asuka. You're so fucked up, but now you know what's in her mental closet. So it's like, you know, even though Shinji did this awful thing to Asuka of masturbating over her in her bed, you know, he now has a better understanding of her now that he's spent some time in the mind meld. You know. And I say, she'll never let you in unless you stop making her vomit. Because at the end she says, you know, Kimochi warui, you make me feel sick. And essentially I'm saying that, like, you know, if you can get past that, if you can make it so she actually likes you, approach with patience, diligence, and knowing that you're needed, or humankind as we know it is already defeated. It's basically like, if you can't make this work, well, there's you know, this is the only hope that was left. If you can't do it, then it's over. So yeah, that's the idea. That's the point of the other. That's what it's saying. And I hope you enjoyed. The camera's about to die.